I am an assistant district attorney for the county of Alameda, and I also am our director of communications. So I have a split role between prosecuting cases and interacting with the press and the public. And one of the main goals of having a communications director in the first place in a prosecutor's office is to promote transparency, while at the same time understanding that, especially in an office like ours where we are bound by rules of court and rules of prosecution when it comes to what we can and cannot divulge about our criminal cases, we have to strike a really, really fine line between wanting to inform the community about the work that we're doing and the cases that we have, but not compromise a case or jeopardize a case that we have active in court. And one of the main ways that we are trying to get out into the community is via our online electronic newsletters. So the main goal of, we have actually 2 newsletters that we produce from our office, and one of them is a general newsletter that hopes to discuss all of the news coming out, and one is a very specified newsletter that focuses exclusively on our human exploitation and trafficking unit, which has a different niche appeal to it. Our general newsletter has been published since the 2010, and it's a monthly, and the HEAT, Human Exploitation and Trafficking newsletter, is a little bit newer and has not been in existence as long, but has great readership. Our audience, we find, in large part, is the community of Alameda County, many whom are interested in the criminal justice arena. All of the local press subscribes to the newsletter. Our colleagues in other district attorneys' offices around the state and the country log in. Office alumni, it's a great way for them to keep in touch with the office. Many of you from other departments, and we like that. And then also different practitioners in the area of criminal justice, the public defender, defense bar, and our law enforcement partners. We want to highlight our initiatives, our courtroom verdicts. We'd like to really educate everybody on what we are doing within the office. The elements, this is a sample of one of our more recent newsletters that shows how we organize it. It tends to be the same every month because we'd like our readers to have a feeling of this is where I go to know the information that I want to have. And for example, earlier this year we rolled out a huge campaign about human trafficking, billboards and posters that you may have seen around the county, and we really wanted to highlight for our readership the fact that not only are these throughout all of Alameda County and our neighboring counties, but they also were shown at the state capitol and the United States Capitol. And we got not only a lot of readers, but a lot of other outside sources repeating that story, republishing that story, and we also now have the counties of San Diego and the counties of Los Angeles using the posters that we created in their counties, and so they're going all over, and I think even nationwide now, and we hope that our newsletter disseminating that information is one of the main reasons. We highlight verdicts. We don't put every verdict because we're very busy in our courtrooms, but that tends to be one of the very hot topics that people want to know from a DA office is what's going on in the courtroom in the criminal justice world. Our challenges always every month is what is our content going to be, and so Stephanie and Maya, who are both here, help me. We really become like the reporters of our office, and we have DAs and inspectors and staff located throughout Alameda County and all of our courthouses. So we're emailing and calling and asking, what are you doing this month? What's going on? What do you need to have put out? And so we do become the reporter for the office, and it's like we're writing our own little newspaper. And we also always have to touch base with the parameters of what can and cannot be put out. We do have a challenge of maintaining and growing our readership, and also just in making sure that we're using the right platform. Right now we use Constant Contact, and I think many of you are using MailChimp. Hadn't worked so well for us, and so we've stuck with Constant Contact, but we continue to evaluate what would be best for us. This is a sample of our beautiful Heat Watch newsletter. And what I think is interesting about this is that when you look at our readership, we have about 1,500 subscribers on our general and about 3,000 on the Heat Watch. It's a smaller, more niche audience, but the people who are interested in human trafficking and practitioners in that are far-flung, and they really, really focus on this. And so I do think that it's interesting to note that a newsletter focused on a smaller scale topic can have a larger readership. So that's a bit about the Heat Watch newsletter. And then we do promote subscribership through our website. Every time we send out an email, many of us have subscribed to our newsletter as our tagline at the bottom of our email. We publish an annual report. Everything that we put out, we also have a little ad asking people to subscribe. And that would be subscribe to our newsletter. Thank you.